Welcome back to Wellbeing Tips in Everyday Life. This is around conversations. It's especially good if you have the feeling that you're often getting interrupted and it really bothers you. Stay tuned for this video because I give you tips to prevent this from happening. Welcome to the series Mental Health Bites. Navigate life, thrive, and have positive impact. In this video, I want to talk about how you can prevent others from interrupting you. I also first want to talk about, before I give you these 3 tips, I want to talk about the detrimental effect it can have when you get often interrupted. So I had a client and we had a workshop where we practiced mindful listening. So one person would tell a story and the partner listening would not be allowed to speak, but just to listen. And after we did this little exercise and we came back and talked about it, one client all of a sudden started crying and I was like, oh, what happened? And then she shared that that was the first time in a very long time that she actually really felt listened to. And she also shared that she is just a person who needs a moment longer to gather her thoughts. And in normal paced conversations, she often doesn't have the time to gather the thoughts, and then she pauses. And in those pauses, people budge in and take the conversation over. So she hardly gets to finish her point. That really was a lesson for me because I thought, gee, if she feels that way, how many people might feel that way in ordinary conversations that they cannot make their point? So for you, if this is you, I want to give you 3 tips how you help yourself to get more time to make your points and by helping others at the same time not to get interrupted. Number 1, set your expectation early. So when you start to have a conversation or a meeting, you could say, I'm really excited to listen to your points and I just take a moment to digest that before I give my response. Is that okay with you? So you're basically asking for permission to have a pause. People want to help normally and they adhere to that and they have more patience for you to actually gather your thoughts before you reply to what has been said. So number 1, set your expectation. Number 2, state upfront how many points you will make. So to this topic, I would like to say 3 things. Because people then in their head count down these 3 things and normally they don't interrupt you until you have finished that 3rd point. That's a really good trick to hold the space for what you want to say. And number 3, use your observation skills. You will see if people want to say something because they get restless or they do something like, I want to say something. And if you see that this is happening, that people get antsy, then say, I see you really want to say something to that. I will be finished in 1 moment. So you caught them before they interrupt you. This takes a little bit of training, these tricks, because you really learn a new skill in conversation. It's a very valuable skill to train these tools because you will find that you get a bit more space in the conversation and that calms you down. Because many of us who just need that tiny tad longer to gather their thoughts, we become a little bit self-conscious. With these 3 tricks, you get back into control. So try them out. And let me know what you think. And if you like these kind of tricks, stay tuned for the next 2 videos about interruptions. Subscribe and I would be happy to have you in part of this community.